the good word? It's your boy DKB here. So free agency is 2 days away. At least the legal tampering period is where we'll see a good majority of the day one deals get done. And as usual, probably a handful of those players renege and decide to go somewhere else if a better offer presents itself last minute. But as always, it should be a lot of fun. And with the significant cap boost that the New York Jets, as well as the other 31 teams got, still, while it shouldn't alter the plans in terms of what positions of need we need to attack, the caliber of players definitely seem like they're going to be available, right? We still haven't re-signed Bryce Huff to this point. So there's no reduction in what our actual cap number looks like. But when you think about free agency for the Jets, there's kind of been some holdups, right? 2023, you think about that season, not just for us and how painful that memory was with Aaron Rodgers going down and what it turned into, but league-wide, we kind of became a laughingstock, once again. So you kind of have to imagine that the New York Jets are back in that place of needing to potentially overpay for players that if they do have multiple decisions out there, even if the Jets are on paper the best fit from a scheme perspective or, surrounding players, etc., do you really want to go to an organization that, just immensely underperformed, had no kind of plans whatsoever, question marks all across the offensive coaching staff? It's something I've actually been pretty concerned about, right? I figured even if you want to target the A-list kind of players out there, we may not be able to actually get our hands on them. Maybe they refuse to do interviews or come in for meetings, etc., or maybe they just decline whatever we put out there on the table because apples to apples, if they can get a couple $1 million less or more, either way, it probably won't be too much of a significant difference for them to go to an organization that at least seems like they're competent in what's happening. But we may have lucked out, right? During the combine, the number one potential or projected pick anyways, Caleb Williams, he had some thoughts about the New York Jets' Aaron Rodgers, right? He went out there and highlighted the fact that he tries to model his game after him. He, specifically said, I try to model my game after a bunch of guys, but Aaron Rodgers, I would say, is my number one. In a separate interview, he also referred to Aaron Rodgers as being his GOAT when it comes to football, right? And I think that's just overall, ability on the field because he highlighted the winning, the mentality, most of the statistical stuff that comes with being the best of all time. That goes to Tom Brady, but his comments in and of itself, number one projected pick, has looked like the guy that's probably going to be the number one pick for 2 years at USC now. A guy that has, probably effectively made the Bears decide to move on from Justin Fields. And so there's obviously a lot of eyes on him. The aura's great, all that good stuff. But for him to put Aaron Rodgers in that kind of light, once again, this could kind of be that lasting, that final lasting impression for free agents out there that maybe are twiddling their fingers when it comes to the New York Jets when we come calling, right? And ultimately, that's probably what we're going to have to lean into and really rely on. Aaron Rodgers is the absolute difference maker for the New York Jets when it comes to any measure of success, right? You can set aside the coaching staff with this for the most part because he's essentially a head coach on the field. You can set aside the development duties for them, right? Because even with the minute improvements we've seen from Zach Wilson last year, I would say a lot of that is attributed to Zach Wilson, even though Zach Wilson did give credit to Nathaniel Hackett. And maybe he is a great teacher when it comes to the understanding of the game, which definitely Zach Wilson was lacking and maybe other members on offense. But all the other important elements still, the play calling, putting players in great positions and stuff, not great. So Aaron Rodgers really, kind of puts a salve on a lot of those, bed sores, if you want to call it that, for the New York Jets and what could be terrible. Now, how much will a free agent depend on that, right? You're talking about a 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles. Will he be able to remain for last the remainder of a full season at his age? And of course, with question marks in the last season that we've seen him in in Green Bay, realistically. So I say that to say this may have been an indirect great deed that Caleb Williams has done to help out the New York Jets. And at this point, I'll take any help that we can get because it is quite a lot of work that we need to try to get done in free agency if the opportunities present themselves, right? 3 to 4 starters on the offensive line. You still need to make sure you can shore up the depth pieces. You're still talking about needs at defensive tackle. You only have one safety, I believe, in Tony Adams under contract right now, so there's work that you need to do there. You're going to have to figure out the Bryce Huff replacement situation. Wide receiver, maybe you want to go out there and try to get you a running back in what's becoming a increasingly deep class to kind of help spell Breece Hall. So a lot of stuff. Obviously, most of our attention, ironically, it feels like the free agency and draft should be 80% or more in favor of the offense. But still, it's good to know. And for what it's worth, Aaron Rodgers, it's kind of feel like he's being underrated just because people haven't really seen him maybe at a, top 3 quarterback level in some time. But this is still a guy that's not, just shy of 60,000 yards all time passing, puts him in the top 10, I think 9th, 475 touchdowns in his career, which puts him at 5th, multiple MVPs, 10-time Pro Bowler, multiple All-Pros, and a Super Bowl champion. So we need to highlight all of those factors when it really comes to bringing in these offensive agents and selling them that Aaron Rodgers is going to be the guy that's going to lead us to the Super Bowl, right? He's healthy. We are the team that everybody's going to fear. That defense is going to be returning in large part with all of the pieces that made it look great last year and easily upgradable options for players that didn't necessarily perform up to expectations. So you feel really good about where we're at. Ultimately, though, let me know what you guys think. Maybe free agents, guys that have already been in the league for, 3, 4, 5 plus years aren't going to rely on the thoughts and sentiments of a, fresh rookie just coming in that doesn't really know anything. Or maybe you look at it in terms of this is the hottest player coming into the league at the most important position, and he still has his eyes and intentions on Aaron Rodgers, and that helps us out. So nonetheless, just kind of my quick thoughts about it. Maybe it's a bit of a reach, but, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you again. Peace.